Talking about the roller coaster weather we've had. It's expected to make for a very rough allergy season, actually predicting one to be one of the worst we've seen in a while. And Dr. Nita Ogden, an allergist and an immunologist at Englewood Hospital, joins us with some tips to get through it. And Nita and I were just discussing the allergy season and why is this one going to be so bad, or supposedly going to be so bad?
Every year we're seeing worsening allergy symptoms. A lot of it is blamed on climate change. As we get warmer temperatures and higher carbon dioxide levels, our allergy plants love this, and they take it in and they bring greater bursts of pollen, worse for allergy sufferers all around.
All right, so the big question, I guess, is how do you stop it? How do you minimize your symptoms?
So the thing is that you have to be prepared early. You know, we are finding a recent survey by the Allergy's Allergen Barrier Bedding found that 1/3 of people with allergies, they ignore their symptoms. 1 in 10 allergy sufferers, they don't heed expert advice, which is a real problem. It leads to sinus infections, bronchitis, and asthma, and all that suffering that people complain about. If you're ready early, you're going to be in a much better position to fight allergy season.
All right, so for example, how do you do, let's say, at home? Is there anything particular in your house you can do to make symptoms more minimal?
Yeah, 100%. So you want to keep your windows closed. You want to keep the pollen out. Right. Run your air conditioner, but get your house pollen ready. So doing some spring cleaning is good, so you're not sitting at home also in a dust bowl.
Is that dust? Yeah.
Yes,
right.
exactly. And these are good measures to take in terms of dust in your home. You're covering your bed and protecting yourself from dust.
What do you mean by covering your bed?
You're using a zippered 6-point protection kind of cover over.
6-point protection.
You're looking at your mattress has
Sounds like an infomercial. Okay.
I know. But that's what, you know, when people go into a store, they see a lot of options, and you want to look for something that zips around your mattress. Is the point.
It's zipping. Okay.
Yeah, zipping. And then when you're going outside on a high pollen day, you want to check the pollen count. If it's really high, prepare yourself. Wear sunglasses. Cover your eyes. Wear a hat. You don't want to come home just covered in pollen. And when you do come home, you want to take a shower, so you're not going to bed covered in pollen and breathing all of that in. When
people say covered in pollen, if this is not something you really can see. Let's be very basic here, right? Can you see?
No, it's microscopic.
No, always microscopic.
It's microscopic. I mean, certainly you can see that thin layer on your car that everybody complains about. Right, but that's just, you know, that's a sign that it's allergy season, and you should take steps to prepare yourself. And for the microscopic pollen, I also tell people to use saline sprays, because those microscopic pieces are lodged in your nose and again in your eyes. It's a good idea to wash them out before you go to bed, so that, again, you're not sleeping and waking up with terrible symptoms.
And what else do we have here, for example?
And these are just basic medications. The cornerstone for the treatment of allergies, a good nasal spray, a steroid nasal spray, a 24-hour antihistamine. These are basic things that if you already have allergies, you want to be taking these well before the season. So it's good to check in with your allergist prior to the season even starting, early March. As the season starts earlier, that could be February.
A couple of quick ones that people always ask. How do you tell between a cold and an allergy?
So cold is finite. After 2 weeks, your cold is gone. If you have allergies, you're going to have that feeling of like, I just had a cold. Oh, my cold is back. You know, those symptoms. And colds can maybe make you feel more achy, and sometimes you might have a fever. Some people say that with a cold, you get green and yellow nasal discharge. Allergies tend to run clear.
And one more quick one, because I have this question. People say to me now, you have allergies. I've never had allergies before. You get them later in life?
Yeah, this is a big thing that we're seeing, that people have new onset allergies in their adult life, in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, and it's because we're developing these worsening seasons, so people are more susceptible all around. So don't be surprised if you have new onset allergies as an adult.
All right, 10 seconds. Tell me the #1 warning you give to people. What's the #1 thing you tell people?
I tell people they have to be prepared early. Don't ignore your allergies and say it's just my allergies, because the longer you wait, the later it's going to catch up with you. That means missed work days, school days, disrupted sleep. You're just unhappy all around.
Just unhappy all around. Well, that sums it up. Great job, Dr. Nita Ogden. We really appreciate you coming in.
So much.
Sorry for the bad news, but, you know, folks, you got to learn. Be prepared. Andrea, over to you.
All right.